In the vast, silent abyss of the deep sea, far from any charted shipping lane, the research vessel Nautilus drifted. For weeks, their mission was simple: map the uncharted ocean floor. But on the 12th day, their hydrophones picked up something impossible. A signal, not the song of a whale or the groan of tectonic plates, but a voice. Faint, crackling through layers of static, it was a desperate human voice, repeating a coded plea. The crew, a team of seasoned oceanographers and engineers, were baffled. The signal was analog, a relic of a bygone era. It was broadcasting on a frequency that should have dissipated miles before reaching their deep-sea sensors. The very laws of radio physics dictated that what they were hearing simply could not exist. Yet, there it was, a phantom call from the crushing dark. The science team worked frantically. They isolated the signal, cleaned the audio, and ran it through every diagnostic they had. The results that came back were more chilling than the deepest trench. The signal's waveform was perfect, too perfect. It wasn't a modern hoax or freak atmospheric bounce. It was genuine. Spectrographic analysis confirmed the sound source was a human male, under extreme duress. The terror in his voice was measurable, quantifiable. But the most disturbing discovery came from the signal's temporal decay signature. The software, designed to date ancient radio waves from space, produced a result that made no sense. The transmission wasn't from today, or last year, or even the last century. Source signature: human male, origin, 1898, status, terminal. The voice wasn't just old, it was impossible. It was a ghost trapped in the amber of a radio wave, a message from a man who had been dead for over 100 years. The science confirmed it. The horror was that it was real. As the days turned into weeks, the signal grew stronger, clearer. The static receded, and the voice emerged from the depths, no longer a faint whisper but a clear, heartbreaking plea. The crew's morale began to fracture. Sleep became a luxury few could afford, haunted by the voice that echoed through the ship's comms. This wasn't a malevolent spirit trying to frighten them. This was a man, trapped in his final moments, reliving the sinking of his ship over and over again. He was begging for a rescue that would never come. His words painted a vivid, horrifying picture: the groaning of twisted metal, the roar of incoming water, the shouts of his fellow crewmen. He was pleading with a future he could never have imagined, hoping someone, anyone, would hear his final message and mark his watery grave. His voice was no longer just a scientific curiosity, it became an obsession. The crew listened, transfixed by the tragedy unfolding in their headphones. They could almost feel the icy cold of the Atlantic, smell the salt and the fear. The message was always the same, a loop of terror. He repeated the name of his ship, the SOS Valencia, a steamship that vanished off the coast of Vancouver Island in a storm. Historical records confirmed the date, 1898. The voice was reaching out from a known tragedy, a real event. The crew felt like they were intruding on a sacred, private moment of death. But they couldn't turn it off. They had to know. They had to hear the end. The ghost wasn't just crying out. He was trying to guide them, to warn them, to leave a final testament before the ocean claimed him forever. As the Nautilus drifted closer to the historical coordinates of the sinking, the transmission reached its agonizing peak. The background noise of the storm, the screams, the splintering wood, it was all there, preserved in the signal. The crew huddled around the speakers, listening to a dead man drown. And then, a single phrase cut through the chaos, isolated and chillingly clear, the voice warped by the crushing pressure of the deep, a gurgling, final warning. The water is coming, tell them where we are. It was the last thing he ever said, a desperate instruction from beyond the grave. And then, the voice was gone, replaced by the deafening roar of the ocean rushing in, a final watery exhalation before the signal cut out, leaving only the hiss of static. What is a ghost? Is it the spirit of the dead, or is it something else entirely? Can an event, a moment of extreme trauma and desperation, be so powerful that it permanently imprints itself onto the environment. Perhaps sound, like energy, can neither be created nor destroyed, only changed. Maybe the ocean itself, the very water that claimed the SS Valencia, became a recording medium holding that final, desperate plea in its memory for over a century. The signal wasn't a ghost in the traditional sense. It was an echo, a memory replaying itself whenever the atmospheric and oceanic conditions were just right. A message in a bottle made of radio waves, waiting for someone to find it. The ocean holds its secrets close, but sometimes, just sometimes, it whispers them to the surface. The final transmission of the SS Valencia was last recorded at latitude 48.48 north, longitude 125.12 west, a place where the dead still speak, if you know how to listen. The signal is silent now, but the question remains, are we hearing a ghost, or is the ocean simply remembering? Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the unknown. If you're fascinated by the mysteries hidden in our world, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We have many more secrets to uncover. Until next time, stay curious.